Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Tasty Tuesdays. Last week we worked on beverages. This week we're going to do two recipes that are great iftar starters. The first one is a Moroccan Harira stew. It's made with chickpeas, lentils, and vermicelli, as well as beef. The last one is a Somali Sambousak, a little bit different than the samosa that you might be used to, and equally tasty. Let's get started. In Morocco and Algeria, it isn't Ramadan without a bowl of harira at iftar time. This hearty meat and legume stew will warm your belly after a full day of fasting. Let's begin. For this recipe, you will need 6 cups of water, a half cup of lentils, 3 tablespoons of flour in 1/4 cup of cold water mixed to a slurry, 2 medium onions chopped, 1 clove of garlic minced, half a pound of beef or lamb in 1/2-inch cubes, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of butter, 2 tablespoons ground coriander, 1/8 teaspoon of saffron, 1 can of chickpeas drained, a half a cup of chopped parsley, an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, the juice of 1 lemon, and salt and pepper to taste. In addition, you can add a half cup of vermicelli. Let's get started. In a large pot, bring the water to boil, add the lentils, and then simmer for 20 minutes. Add the butter and oil to the pan, and we're going to brown the onions and meat. Add the flour and water slurry to the lentils, mix, and set aside. Add the garlic and spices. Give it a stir. And then add water to cover and simmer. Once the water is added, it will take about 15 minutes for this to simmer and tenderize the meat. Add the meat mixture to the lentils, then add the chickpeas, tomato sauce, and parsley. And allow this to simmer for 15 more minutes. In the last 7 minutes of cooking, add the vermicelli, stir and simmer until softened. The finished stew is a wonderful mix of lentils, chickpeas, vermicelli, and beef. It's perfect served on the side with boiled eggs sprinkled with salt and cumin. Ramadan Kareem, everyone. Enjoy! For this recipe, you'll need a package of spring roll wrappers, a pound of ground beef, a medium onion, a green onion, a small bunch of cilantro, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of curry powder. If you have hawash, this would be even better. There's not much difference, but there is a slight difference because curry powder has ginger, and salt and pepper to taste. Let's begin. We'll begin by chopping the onion. You want to chop the onion finely. Next, you want to chop your green onion. And lastly, we're going to chop our cilantro. And then we'll set that aside. We'll add a small amount of oil to the pan and heat that up. And then we'll add our onions and our meat to the pan. You want to break up the meat into smaller pieces and brown it as you go. Once it is a little bit more brown, we're going to add our spices. Now we'll add our spices. We have our minced garlic, our curry powder, and our salt and pepper. And we'll give that a good mix and continue to brown it and break it up. Add the chopped cilantro. Now your filling is ready. Allow it to cool before trying to fill the spring roll wrappers. Get your defrosted wrappers and take one out to work with at a time, placing the rest of them under a damp cloth. Take your filling and put a tablespoon in the bottom left corner. Fold the triangle toward the middle of your square. Then fold the whole bottom all the way in half up to the top. Take your finger, dip it in the water, and wet just the edges so that you can seal down this flap over the filled area. Then fold that triangle one more time to the right, and then up toward the corner. And there you have a triangle. You're going to repeat this process with your filling and your wrappers until you're finished. Once you're done wrapping all of the spring roll wrappers, you should have about 25 of the sambusak. We're going to fry them until golden in hot oil, about an inch high in the pan. We don't want to overcrowd the pan, so we're going to put a few in at a time and fry them until they're golden. Enjoy!